So I sold my truck earlier this summer, and it had a big tent on the back of it, and it was just our vehicle that we always use to go camping. I do use the Bronco a lot, but I don't have a camper anymore. I'm starting a new project, and I just went down to Denver and picked up some stuff to start this. It's going to be pretty wild. Here, let me show you. Also, since I don't have my truck, now I have to haul everything in my Bronco, which isn't that bad. I have a trailer, but someone's borrowing it, so I crammed all this in here. We're going to build our own teardrop camper. So I'm going to have to remember how to weld. Well, I got the steel unloaded and just doing some layout in my workshop studio area here. Yeah, this is gonna be a beefy trailer. So I do want to practice some welding before I actually weld this up. I haven't welded in a long time, and I don't have like a really fancy welder. I forget, it's a one from Harbor Freight. It's not the most cheap one, but it's this titanium one. It's a 120 volt wire feed welder. I'm gonna practice on some of these pieces in here. I got a flat piece right there. There's a little bit of spatter, so maybe I need to just dial it down a little bit. I mean, I think I got penetration in there pretty good. I'm gonna try a couple of different things. So I was thinking about the spatter, and it's just not really how I want the weld to look. I just looked up some stuff, talked to a friend about what I was doing, and he had a couple of suggestions. So one thing is maybe my amperage was too high. So I'm at this f.5. So he said just to bring it down to the E. And then the other thing is, you guys see where I might be going here, is just the cleanliness of the metal. I mean, it's metal, it's kind of just dirty and got stuff all over it, and that's gonna make some spatter too. Another thing to try, I stepped that big R up here and got some anti-spatter nozzle shield and some nozzle gel. And I think that spatter is coming off. There still is some in here. I did get something else too. I'm gonna try that. I got some different wire. Well, straight away, I mean, it's definitely a different wire, but there's this slag that's coming up on here, which wasn't really happening before on that other wire. And there is quite a bit less of the spatter that's out here, but there's this slag that wasn't happening. Oh, it looks so much better. I mean, I guess there is something to say about the wire. That looks amazing. I'm happy with that. So we're gonna stay with that wire, the spray, and just make sure I clean the metal. I'm just gonna practice some more. Getting ready to weld. I think I've got this figured out, and I think my welds are good enough to continue on with this. I wanted to bring it up off the ground, and I've got these sawhorses. I think this will just be easier for me to weld on. So what I've done is I set 3 sawhorses up ultimately to have 3 points for my plane, and then these are all clamped together, and I've squared everything up. So when I've set this up to be square, I use my big framing square and put this in place and get it nice and square. This has got a little bit of a bounce to it, but it's the only one, I think. Let me double check. So over on this side, I just do all 4 sides. This one's also got just a hair. And then this one over here, this one is spot on. And then over here, I have, this one's nice and tight too. The other thing I want to double check is just the squareness of this with a tape measure, and I need some help for that one, so let me do that. Just need my tape measure. I don't know where I put that. Maybe I put it back. I did. I have my lovely assistant here to help me with just checking the squareness of this. Are we going for the camera? You want the camera, not the...
Yes.
So I am at 113 inches on this diagonal. All right. And this looks like we are right on 113 as well. Thanks, assistant. All right, so the other thing I want to check on here as well is just my dimensions to make sure I'm not over 5 feet. So I'm like right at 5 feet. And here I am actually like just under by about an eighth, 8 feet. So I think I'm ready to start welding. I'm going to tack it all in place, and then I'm going to weld opposite. I will do a weld on the top here, and then a weld on the top, I think on the top over there. I was thinking about flipping it and going to the bottom, but I don't need to do that. And then over on that side, and then over on that side, so that it will pull evenly as I weld through. Are you a helper dog? Are you scared of the thunder? Oh, you're gonna be okay. Come on, it's okay. Well, I got a lot of welding done today, and my axles arrived, as well as the plates. So I got those put on per the plan measurements. I feel like they're really far back, but I think it'll be okay. That's where it's further back in general than like my 10-foot trailer, just because there'll be a lot of weight in the back of this thing with all of the cooler and galley stuff, and plus just the extra stuff like this extra metal back here. I'm really impressed with my welds. Very happy with how they turned out in general. I think they're gonna hold, and I actually had a little inadvertent test, and I'm just gonna do some inspection to make sure, because it fell off of my sawhorses when I was taking it down to bring it in here before the rain came. And luckily I didn't get hurt, and I don't think anything came off of this at all, or nothing cracked anywhere. The only other thing left to do is the drawbar over here and the drawbar supports, and then I've got my safety chain pieces in here. And also I'll have to cut some pieces for the fenders, for the fender mounts too. Feels good to work with my hands. So I decided I am gonna weld each one of these tabs on the bottom, just to make sure that they're sealed up better. And then same thing for underneath these, some safety chain mounts too. And I think I am gonna go ahead and weld on my trailer stabilizer jacks back here. So to do that, I'm gonna have to grind, because these actually can unbolt from here if I ever had to, I guess. So these brackets then would just be welded onto here. That one looks really nice. I'm very happy with that one. Okay, some are real. Welding is 99.9% done. The only other thing left to weld on is the receiver in the back of this. I'm just waiting for that to come in. So that'll go from here to here and stick out just a little bit from there. Alright, so I've worked on some more stuff for the frame. I've got my supports on for the fenders and the rear receiver as well. And I decided to put caps on all these open ends. Well, that does it for the welds. I've got everything all welded up on here. I think they turned out pretty good. I probably over welded a lot of stuff. Like, I don't know if I needed to do all 4 corners of these, but I was more just thinking about them being sealed up. And now that I think about it, the Raptor liner is probably going to help seal some of that up too. This has been quite the adventure. Really a lot of fun and just pretty wild. I've only burned like 1 hole in my shirt right here. That was when I was welding upside down.